In the bustling world of ancient Greece, amid political upheaval and intellectual ferment, a boy was born on the island of Samos in 341 BCE who would challenge the very foundations of philosophy. Epicurus, son of Neocles and Charistrate, grew up in a modest Athenian family. His father, a schoolteacher, and his mother, involved in religious rites, provided a backdrop of learning and tradition. Yet young Epicurus was restless for answers beyond the conventional. At 14, a simple question about chaos in Hesiod's poetry sparked a lifelong quest. His early education under the Platonist Pamphilus and later Nausiphanes, a disciple of Democritus, introduced him to atomism. The idea that everything is composed of tiny, indivisible particles, this radical materialism would become the cornerstone of his philosophy. Epicurus came of age during the twilight of classical Greece and the dawn of the Hellenistic era, a time when Alexander the Great's conquests reshaped the Mediterranean world. The old city-states were fading, replaced by sprawling kingdoms and new cultural exchanges. It was in this shifting landscape that Epicurus sought a philosophy that could offer peace amid chaos. Epicurus's journey from curiosity to philosophical innovation set the stage for a transformative approach to life, one that continues to challenge and inspire those seeking peace and happiness in an uncertain world. Around 306 BCE, Epicurus established his school, known simply as the Garden, just outside Athens. Unlike the public academies of Plato or Aristotle, the Garden was a private sanctuary, a place of refuge from the turmoil of the city and the anxieties of life. The Garden was revolutionary not just in location but in spirit. It welcomed women, slaves, and people from all walks of life, breaking social norms of exclusivity. Here Epicurus taught that the highest good was pleasure, but not the indulgent kind. His was a philosophy of simple pleasures, intellectual inquiry and friendship. Epicurus's teachings were deeply influenced by Democritus's atomism, but he rejected the metaphysical speculations of Plato and Aristotle. Instead, he embraced a materialist and empirical worldview. The universe is made of atoms moving in the void, and understanding this natural order frees us from superstition and fear. At the heart of Epicureanism lies the pursuit of ataraxia, a state of serene tranquility, and aponia, the absence of pain. Epicurus offered a practical guide, the fourfold remedy: do not fear gods, do not fear death. What is good is easy to obtain, and what is terrible is easy to endure. This was a prescription for a life free from anxiety and full of contentment. Though Epicurus wrote prolifically, some 300 scrolls by ancient accounts, much of his work has been lost to time. What remains, however, offers a window into his thought. His letters are the most direct source, preserved by Diogenes Laertius. The letter to Herodotus explains his physics, the nature of atoms and the cosmos. The letter to Pythocles demystifies celestial phenomena, stripping away superstition. The letter to Menoetius distills his ethics, urging us to embrace pleasure wisely and to banish the fear of death. Complementing these are the Principal Doctrines, 40 concise maxims outlining Epicurean ethics, and the Vatican Sayings, a collection of 81 aphorisms rediscovered in a medieval manuscript. These texts emphasize moderation, friendship, and the pursuit of happiness through understanding nature. Epicurus's lost works, including his extensive treatise on nature, survive only in fragments and through the writings of later admirers like Lucretius, whose epic poem De Rerum Natura immortalized Epicurean physics and ethics in Roman culture. Epicurus lived what he preached, a life of simplicity, moderation, and friendship. He never married and had no children, but his relationships with his students were deep and affectionate. His school was a community, a philosophical family where women and slaves could learn and participate equally, a radical idea in ancient Athens. His teaching style was practical and inclusive. He avoided politics and public life, focusing instead on how to live well. Letters to his followers reveal a man who cared deeply for their well-being, offering guidance not just on philosophy but on life's challenges. The Garden was a place of shared meals, lively discussion, and mutual support. Epicurus's birthday was celebrated annually, and his memory honored monthly, reflecting the strong bonds within this community. Epicureanism was never without its critics. Ancient Stoics accused Epicureans of selfishness and moral laxity, misunderstanding their pursuit of pleasure as indulgence rather than the absence of pain. Seneca and Cicero, prominent Roman thinkers, challenged Epicurean denial of divine providence and the soul's immortality. Yet Epicureanism thrived in Rome, embraced by poets like Lucretius, who gave voice to its ideas in De Rerum Natura. Roman Epicureans adapted the philosophy, emphasizing ethical tranquility and the rejection of superstition. With the rise of Christianity, Epicureanism faced opposition for its materialism and atheistic tendencies. Church fathers condemned it as hedonistic and incompatible with Christian doctrine. The Renaissance rekindled interest in Epicurus, sparked by the rediscovery of Lucretius's poem. Thinkers like Pierre Gassendi sought to harmonize Epicurean atomism with Christian beliefs, influencing the development of modern science and philosophy. During the Enlightenment, Epicurean ideas inspired utilitarianism, with philosophers like Bentham and Mill echoing the focus on pleasure and pain as ethical measures. Even Karl Marx engaged with Epicurean materialism in his early work. Today, Epicureanism's legacy is mixed. Popular culture often misrepresents it as a philosophy of indulgence, ignoring its core message of simplicity and moderation. Yet its emphasis on rationality, naturalism, and the pursuit of tranquility continues to influence secular thought, science, and discussions on well-being. Epicurus's life and philosophy offer a timeless message that happiness is found not in excess but in understanding, friendship, and freedom from fear. In a world often marked by anxiety and distraction, his call to seek tranquility through reason and simple pleasures resonates deeply. His vision of a community where all can learn and thrive, regardless of status, challenges us to rethink inclusion and the purpose of philosophy itself. Epicurus reminds us that the greatest good is peace of mind, a lesson as vital now as it was over 2 millennia ago. Epicurus's journey from a curious boy on Samos to the founder of a revolutionary school in Athens is a testament to the power of questioning and the pursuit of wisdom. His teachings, preserved through fragments and the voices of those who followed, continue to inspire a search for a life well lived, one marked by joy, friendship, and freedom from fear. In the garden of philosophy, Epicurus planted seeds that still bloom today, inviting us all to cultivate our own peace. Epicurus's timeless wisdom invites us to embrace simplicity, cherish meaningful friendships, and seek knowledge to overcome fear. In a world often overwhelmed by complexity and anxiety, his philosophy offers a clear path to inner peace. By living thoughtfully and valuing what truly matters, we can all cultivate the tranquility Epicurus so passionately taught.